Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today, guys, we have the fusion for Wixwell now live in game. And in this fusion, we have 4 Force Epic Champions, which is going to contribute to our potion farming, which, if you're low on potions, this is very important, especially for the Voids, because it's only open on Sundays, and you don't want to spend the gems to actually open this up again. The Force is open twice during the week, Friday and maybe Wednesday, I forget, but I know it's open on Friday, so if you don't have enough potions yet, jump in there and start farming. I'm going to go over how many potions you're going to need a little bit later. So we have the 4 Force Champions, and we have a lot of the Void Champions, 4, 8, 12, 16 of the Void Rare Champions. So a lot of the same champions. The calendar is going to be pretty strict. Like you gotta keep up with these events. If you don't, well, you're going to fall behind. So you don't have any room to miss. You have 4 here, 4 here. That's going to be 12 total, and then 16. If you do go for the Summon Rush for the Epic Champion, you could essentially skip 4 of any of these events, mix and match. That's going to be okay. However, the Summon Rush is most likely going to be a 10x event. It could be something better, and Summon Rushes are typically better with Sacred Shards and these higher value shards, because on Summon Rushes, where they differ from Champion Chase, is that you get points based on the quality of shard that you pull, whereas Champion Chase, you get points based on the rarity of the champion that comes from the portal. You can get points from collecting champions from campaign, you can get points from collecting champions like Lydia. Points from 2x Ancients are the best. Like 2x Ancients is simply the best event to go for during Champion Chase tournaments, because you get a higher chance at Epic Champions with the lowest cost shard outside of Mystery Shards, of course. So you should be able to finish this with a pretty low champion, like pretty low overall Ancient Shard pool. Now, of course, that depends on if Plarion makes this crazy or not, but the Champion Chase should be easy. Unfortunately, we're not getting anything extra outside the Void Rare Champion. The Summon Rush is going to be a little more difficult, but if you hit everything else to this point, then you don't even have to go for that Epic. So you don't even have to do the Summon Rush, basically. Well, you don't have to do the Summon Rush to the big point threshold. You will have to do it to the smaller one, which is right there. So that's going to start next Friday. Now, going through this, the potions you're going to need, if you want to check out this calendar, I'll leave it linked down below, but this was from Cold Brew's Fusion Potion Calculator. I'll leave it linked in the description if I can remember, but you're going to need 160 Lesser Void, 64 of the Medium, and then 80 Arcane, 63 Bigger. You guys can see this. You can read it yourself. But as far as the actual plans, let's take a look at this. So champion training is always very important, and you got to be mindful of this, because for me, it's something I got to actually plan to do, because it's not as easy to just instantly burst champion training for most players. Now, with the new changes in the Tavern, it will be a little bit easier, because now you can come in here and say you want to get a champion brought up. So let's switch the filter view. Let's do this. We'll take this champion right here, and now we can actually just load up, I believe, a lot of, actually, no, sorry. Let's check the instant upgrade button. Instant upgrade. So now she's going to be, actually, okay, no, we're instant upgrading other champions. How does this even work? What's going on here? Instant rank up. So now all these heroes are going to be ranked up. Don't do this until the event actually happens, but now you're going to come in here. It's using my chickens. I wonder if you can make it not use chickens. Either way, don't use. Okay, good. So apply. Now we're just using heroes, which is pretty cool. So make sure your heroes are leveled up. You still want to do efficient leveling, still get them some levels before you actually feed them. But yeah, it's going to be a lot easier in general to rank up your heroes. As far as the feeding goes, let's see how, I thought you could load up like tons more champs in here. I didn't think you had a limit, but it looks like you do still have a limit. I didn't think that was supposed to be the thing. I'm pretty sure it showed differently that you could load up like 9 or 10 there. Either way, the champion training stuff is going to be easier. Also, you have the upgrade skills. You just throw a bunch of books on the champion. The ascension, super easy. Just max it out. You don't have to spam the spacebar, nothing like that. But champion training is something you do want to be on the lookout for, and it's something that I want to plan out to double dip whenever I can. So we have a champion training Friday, as well as next Thursday it starts. So tomorrow and next Thursday. So essentially, I wouldn't be doing any farming right now, even though we do have Dragon live in the game. So the next thing is going to be double and triple dipping in these events, which is what I look out for. So these basically tell me, hey, these are the days that I'm going to be farming inside the game, because these are the days that I'm going to get extra benefits. So Thursday, I'm not going to be farming. Friday, it's good. Friday has Dungeon Diver, Dragon, and Champion Training. So if you have a solo or duo champion, now you can farm Dragon, get the points from the Dungeon Diver event, and start picking up some points from Champion Training. So Friday and Saturday for me are going to be the 2 days where I'm really pushing for these events, because we also have the 2x speed going on. So right here is very juicy rewards, essentially. And then we have the summon events tomorrow as well, which I'm sure I'll be opening shards. If you guys want me to pull your shards, let me know down below. We have 2x Ancients. Like I said, it's the best event for this, with the 10x for Wallmaster, which unfortunately is just a 10x event. I wish it was like a progressive. I don't know why they're being stingy with him. Probably because he's an amazing champion. But either way, The next day I'm going to be farming. Looks like it's going to be Monday and Tuesday. It's going to be Ice Golem double dipping into Dungeon Diver. So Ice Golem, I believe, is having a 2x event, maybe Retaliation. I forget what it is, but I don't think it's one of the top sets. Either way, Ice Golem, Dungeon Diver, farm there. We have an artifact enhancement event after the Dragon tournament, so definitely make sure you have plenty of silver saved up after Dragon to go ahead and start upgrading your artifacts, which I will highlight that in just a minute. But this is your next double dipping opportunity for Ice Golem plus Dungeon Diver. Similar thing, if you have a champion who can solo, it's like R-Tack or something, you can do Ice Golem, get you some champion training ready for the next champion training event, and also pick up Dungeon Diver points. With these events, if you have a solo champion, it's going to take a little bit more time, but it's going to have your champions ready to be fed, ready to be put in a position where you can have more points when the champion training tournament actually comes around. And then the next day to be farming is going to be Friday, which is going to be Fire Knight, champion training, which you can't really duo Fire Knight, unfortunately, but you're also going to have 1 day of Dungeon Diver at the bottom. Now, with Fire Knight, I think it's going to be a 2x regeneration, which is definitely worth farming. So Fire Knight, you're going to want to put some time into that, but Friday specifically is the best day to do Fire Knight. It's going to start on Thursday, and it's going to run until Saturday night for me. But it says Sunday here. Pay attention to like when your events typically end, because while this says Sunday for me, it's probably going to end very, very early. I probably won't actually be awake. So Fire Knight's going to be farmed for me on Friday, next Friday that is, and then I'll be hitting some Spider, possibly during Sunday or maybe during CVC. So let's see if I can let these other ones come up. So here we go. So CVC is this green line over here. CVC is going to start on Tuesday, and the event's basically going to end for me on Wednesday. So on Tuesday, I could actually pick up some Spider tournament farming, plus do some artifact enhancement event, plus get some CVC points. It's going to be a personal reward CVC, so it could be some pretty good time to pick up those points. So Spider is either going to be Sunday for Dungeon Diver plus Spider, or it's going to be Tuesday for Spider plus CVC, or maybe a little bit of both. We also have the Eric's strategy, which it looks like actually it's going to be Spider plus Dungeon Diver and Champion Training on Sunday. So if you're struggling, that's going to be a perfect time to do that. Champion Training can be double dipped on that day. Let's see this real quick. Let's extend this red real fast. So there we go. Even better than I expected. Very nice. So Champion Training, get Eric's, do solo 9 hard, no presets, solo 10 hard with presets. It's going to be easy, not a problem in the world. Champion Training done, Spider done, Artifact Enhancement could be worked on because Spider gives you the best amount of silver. Now, with Artifact Enhancement, this is something I have to worry about because, guys, I am struggling. I do like how they changed the numbering up here. So I have 20 million. It almost makes me feel like I have more, but I still have very low amount of silver. So 20 million is going to basically do me half of an Artifact Enhancement event, depending on how lucky I get. But I need to farm more silver for sure. I've been buying silver from the clan shop. Honestly, I got quite a bit of clan gold, and this is 5 million silver. So maybe you have other stuff you want to buy really badly. Of course, I'd prioritize other things, but this is a decent way to get some silver, and I pretty consistently purchase it. I don't know if it's just because I'm low on silver all the time or what it is, but I do purchase it basically anytime it's there. So getting silver from there, getting silver from Spider, getting silver from campaign farming if you're doing that, selling your gear, cleansing your gear. A lot of you have tons of silver sitting in your inventory essentially because of gear that could be sold, you just haven't sold it yet. So those are some ways you can pick up some silver. We have Artifact Enhancement 1 up here, 2 right here, and 3. So that's going to be the hardest part for me is actually getting the Artifact Enhancement to work, especially since I recently cleansed all my gear. So my stuff's very low. Matter of fact, I got some new Stone Skin and Protection I got to go through and sell, but I'm very low on gear, so I can't really go through and sell my gear, essentially. I got some Relentless, I guess, from a tournament, which is probably all going to be sold, unfortunately, because it's all 5-star stuff. But the game's been bugging out. Whenever I go to claim tournament points and stuff, it says like, oh, the game's experiencing an error, you have to leave, and I can't claim my rewards. But either way, this is going to be a fusion, guys. And there's been a lot of talk about this fusion. I think a lot of people want to justify skipping him. And if you do, then skip it. If you don't want to do a fusion, just skip it. But on the flip side, if you are somebody out there who plays the game seriously and you're playing regularly, and you are not free to play. Obviously, if you're free to play, it's going to be a little more difficult because you can't go for every fusion necessarily. But if you're somebody out there who spends every now and then, not even a big spender, then you should have the resources to complete the fusion reasonably. And it's essentially a free legendary, right? So a legendary you don't have to pull from a shard. And then eventually one day if you do pull him from a shard, now it's a faction guardian for you. Versus in the future, if you pull him from a shard, well, then he's useless because you didn't go for the fusion. So personally, I like to go for any and every fusion that I can, assuming it's not going to stretch me like uncomfortably, whatever. But if I can go for it, I'm going to go for it. I think that should be a pretty good way to live for most players. But remember, if you're tired of doing fusions and you don't like them and you want to take a break, take the break. I took a break from 2 fusions accidentally. I was on vacation. I didn't do either one of these fusions. The 2 fusions I missed was Pythion as well as Tshirt. Arguably some of the best fusions we've had in the recent history. Like, these are some very, very good fusions. Tshirt, I would have loved to have had her, but I missed her. It's not a big deal. Pythion, I would have loved to have had him because when I missed him, he was doing very good in Arena. Well, I missed him. It's not a big deal. Like, you're still good. Your account's going to be fine. Now, if it was Newt, that might be a little different story, but this guy is not Newt level. He's a good champion, but he's not Newt level. He's a champion who, if you miss him, it's not the end of the world. It's going to be okay. So if you want to take a break. But if you are playing the game regularly, well, go for the fusion possibly, right? Or just farm Minotaur. Do whatever you want to do inside the game. But guys, that is the fusion breakdown. Hopefully this helps you out. These are my plans. Anything that's highlighted in the red are the days I'm going to be farming more heavily. And these are the energy intense days. And then anything that's not is basically more chill days. Do some arena, do some artifact enhancement, things like that. So it looks like Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it looks like Wednesday is kind of chill day, assuming I get through the Dungeon Diver stuff then. I'm going to try my best to. This may take a little bit more energy to do this, but these are the days where I plan on really trying hard for this stuff. So guys, I'm going to leave this link down below as an Imgur link with all these graphics and images on here and this little potion calculator as well. So click that if you're interested in checking it out. I have it highlighted on Sunday to farm void potions. You're going to want to make sure you do that because if you come into this event and you don't have enough potions, then you're going to be in a bad spot having to spend gems. And nobody wants to spend 300 gems on something that you don't need to do, right? Like, that's just no reason for that. For me, I'm pretty decent off on potions. I kind of need to stock up on some of the arcane ones, honestly. And the forest ones, I could probably use a little bit more. Actually, anything other than void, I'm not really that good on, apparently. So I may need to jump in there, do some more potion farming. But anyway, guys, stay tuned later today. I'm going to do a video on epics you should not empower. Like, do not empower these champions. You may want to because these champions are amazing, but you should not. I repeat, should not empower these champions. So stay tuned. It'll be out in a few hours, guys. But drop a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my content. And I'll catch you on the next video.